were some things we had initially wanted, some very interesting things we felt would make people excited. But we realized that if we bring some of these things in, what would people want to see in the feature film? At the time, we the biggest constraint we had was that we had so many things we would have loved to wow people with, but man, make we leave that one for feature film.
So in other words, are we, I'm calling we now, I'm on your team now. Are we looking for, through the festival now, we're also looking for possible collaborations and, you know, those who might be interested in what do you call it, producing alongside you?
Very much. The thing, I personally believe that once a creative product comes out from the mind of the writer or director, it becomes the property of the community, becomes the property of everybody. So so each time I have a project, the first thing that comes to my mind is what's most important is that this project sees the light of the day. There's a very popular parable in Pidgin English that says, man sees snake, woman kill him. The most important thing we say, the snake die. So our biggest concern is that these jobs are done and we tell the stories we've always had in mind. And that involves possible collaborations and any other thing that will make it see the light of the day. But there are so many other films from where this is coming from.
Amazing. Okay. I'm very happy that, you know, we have the opportunity of screening that at the Real Time Film Festival, and of course other, like you said, possible collaborations. I know some collaborations that started last year. Stanley, I'm sure, knows some, and Ronya from last year's. So that happens a lot here. So you're welcome.
Thank you
for sharing, for spending time with us. So we quickly, do we have, can we quickly have Patrick Utomi? Yes, I believe I called the name properly. Please, if there's any name I don't call, could you correct me while you come on? Hello, good evening, Patrick. Can you hear me? Okay. Hello, Patrick, are you there? Okay, I'm not sure he's around. Okay, can we have Kayode Kasum? Kayode, are you around?
I'm here. Good evening. Patrick is here. Good evening.
Oh, Patrick. Okay. Sorry. We probably have a network issue. Good evening. Please, you're welcome on board.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay. We'd love to. Oh, okay. So Patrick is the director of Pranked.
Oh, sorry, producer actually.
Okay, producer of Pranked.
Yes, one of the producers of Pranked.
Okay.
Yeah, the director is unavoidably upset. Unavoidably upset. I'm sorry.
No wahala. We you know, but we love to talk to producers as well. I'm also a producer, so this is a good conversation.
Okay.
So thank you for coming on to talk about Pranked, and thank you for submitting it to the festival.
Grateful that it was received and officially selected. Yeah.
Okay, so could you tell us a little bit about yourself, Patrick? Where are you currently, and how did you go about filming Pranked?
Okay, so I am Patrick Utomi, a filmmaker, actor, and a very young producer. Passionate about my job and passionate about the industry. So I'm currently in Nigeria, Lagos. And Pranked, was brought together by myself and my co-producers, directed by Ayodeji Ayodele. A story conceived by one of my co-producers by name. Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Can you all mute yourself so we can hear Patrick properly? The rest of us who are not talking. Thank you. Yes, go ahead, Patrick.
Okay, so an idea for Prague conceived by one of my co-producers by name Uzoigwe Marachi and Heaven Sobule. So yeah, this story when I was told about it, we had to brainstorm at first because it was first an idea. We had no script at the time. And about the time I just finished the festival rounds for my other short film, and this came up. And okay, so I loved the idea, and I felt, okay, let's put this to paper, you know. And we had brainstorming sessions, and we had to start scribbling down. And finally, when we came up with the script, we had an issue with possible casting. But glory to God, we were able to fix that in a day. Yeah, that was done in a day. So yeah, major challenge we faced was having to secure a good location for the film. And because we're supposed to shoot into the night, we had an issue with logistics and the vehicle we're supposed to use for the film. So we had gotten a car earlier for the film, but along the line, on the day of the shoot, nature happened and we lost it. Yeah, so that kind of like slowed us down a bit during the day of the shoot. And we had to improvise. But yeah, we were able to knock off that scene. And so, yeah, I worked with quite a number of really interesting teammates, so to speak, because some of them happened to be their first time working on a project.
Okay.
So it was really tough on them because they've always seen filmmakers do this from afar, but having to do it by themselves was really tasking. So I had to, this was what I had to now bring in. Okay, fine. I wouldn't say I'm so much experienced. I mean, I'm still learning. I'm still learning the ropes.
Experience,
yeah. But little experience I'm able to gather over the years, I had to just bring it in to make things work and just make sure that everyone had to do everything they had to do to bring this alive.
But was it deliberate when you brought the crew? Was it a deliberate?
Okay, so I wouldn't want to say it was deliberate because, like I said, the idea was brought to my notice by my other producers. Okay. So at the time when we were trying to do possible casting, we were at the same time trying to look for crew members because we felt we had no time to. We had just had to do this on time because we're looking at dates of submissions for festivals, and we had to just do this on time. And I wouldn't lie, the crew members I even worked with, this would be the first time, but that's actually the first time I ever worked with them. Okay. Trust me. Yeah. Okay. The crew members I am used to were not available for me. But since these people were available for my other producer, they had to just come on board. So this was like me meeting them for the first time. And it wasn't a bad idea after all, because they were really cool people. And yeah. So
all right. So yeah, sorry, I have to cut you short a little bit more. I just want to find out from others in the house if they have been able to watch Frank and what their questions are. Does anybody have any question?
Okay. Yeah, I've seen Pranked. Yeah. I saw the movie. Of course, I've seen the movie. And it's quite an interesting movie. And I just want to find out, even when he received the calls and all of that. Obviously, you guys tried to play some tricks there. Can you guys? I saw this trick because for me to see this trick, that means
I mean something went wrong.
The trick was the car was static, right? You guys were
okay, let me know.
They were rocking the car.
Yeah. So the thing is, because of, as I said, like we lost the actual car we're supposed to use. So the car we got, that car we actually used in the film we got that car the 9 minutes. And that was when the curfew was still very much in, so we couldn't even drive at the time. We had to do car simulations, car movement simulations, and all of it, because at that time, we were shooting that scene, already past midnight. and there was no way we'll be shooting on the road at that time because of curfew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was at the heart of COVID that you went
Yes.
out.
I have a suggestion. I have a suggestion, perhaps for next time. What you could do is just make the guy veer off the road to park. It's believable that he had to park to receive the call. You understand? So it takes away all that stress of people now saying, well, the car wasn't moving because if I could see, that means some other people could see. So it's just to retreat the work. You just change the treatment of that thing. And the guy just drives for like 10 seconds and veers and parks by the side of the road. Everything happens there. You understand? But again, I know you had to put the accident, but then when you change the treatment, then what means that you have to now rework how the accident happened, because you didn't show like the collision and everything. So perhaps it could have been that a trailer came from behind and smashed him and all of that. So again, that's way, either way he received the call, and either way he got killed. You understand? So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, when situations happen on sets that we're not expecting, one thing that we can actually quickly do is change the treatment of that scene, EP or
that's
somebody who money there who we have to go and explain. I did this, you understand? So I'm just saying, when situations go out of plans, you are doing a new treatment and looking at it and being sure that yes, this is going to work. And but apart from that, it's a brilliant movie and it's very emotional, especially at the end. And I felt really bad at the end.
Thank you.
I felt really bad. I felt really, really, really bad. Stupid friends are very, very stupid friends. And
sorry, guys, don't let everything out there. A couple of other filmmakers who haven't watched it.
I know, right?
Now I'm just thinking by the time they wake up from their stupid slumber, what they are going to say. That's what I'm going to say, sir. But quickly, I just want to introduce Kayode Kassim house. We have Tolu from the Multi-Choice Talent Factory, who is also here. And Tolu will be talking about the movie Life of Beam. So I think we just jump from one person to the other. So each person has the floor little by little, and so we can spread it out very easily. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we're starting with, can we start with Tolu and then Kayode? Yes. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, good evening. Am I speaking with Tolu?
Yes, please.
Hi, good evening. Welcome to the Q&A.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we're excited to have you. You're from, could you tell us about your film and the experience in filming Life of Beam?
Okay, so Life of Beam was vetted from the idea we had at the FKF Academy. It was feature film done by our students. I don't know if you've heard of Multi-Choice Talent Factory before.
Yes.
An academy by Multi-Choice, yes, fully funded scholarship for 20 students. So at the end of each year, their assignment sort of is to create a feature film apart from the 10-minute films that were done during the 1-year course. So that was what brought about Life of Beam, and the other one called Dream Chaser. I'm sure some people would have seen it on Showmax or African Magic channel. So that was what brought about the title Life of Beam. Yes. So I would allow one of the director, Moses Akerele, is here. I would like him to take it up from here, so he can tell the experience. So I don't take the shine.
Thank you, Tolu. It's good to hear from you. But Tolu, could you please quickly tell us what your role is before Moses talks, for other filmmakers who don't know who you are?
Okay, I'm the programs manager for Multi-Choice Factory West Africa.
Okay, thank you very much. So Moses, are you able to take up the role of the director and steer us on this wheel now?
Say you wear your seatbelt. Good evening, Regina. Good evening, house.
Good evening.
Hi, sis. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see. Good to hear from you too. Please, we are dying to hear about Life of Beam and how your experience was filming it or
Life
direct.
of Beam. So Life of Beam was my first feature film. It was a straight jump from doing short films to carrying that kind of weight on my shoulders. But good thing I had colleagues who were equally ready to go on the journey with me. It's a story of a 32-year-old man who's suffering depression.
Mm,
Having listened to, or I mean, when you're people pleasing, it's a people pleasing kind of person. So his mom had something on him, and that he felt okay. What he could do is just to please the mom every step of the way, and then ends up being that he was just shooting himself in the toe. So he lived the better part of his life being depressed, aimless, if we put it like that, and suffering battling depression for the longest time.
mm.
I don't want to put it all out there just in case not everybody has seen it.
Yes, thank you for not. Yeah, but so what? How did you feel directing your first feature? What is the difference for you if you have to compare with directing for short film?
Or more, you know that thing that they said that for production, everything that can go wrong would go wrong. Yeah, this was it for me. For the short films I've done, it was in my hands sort of to manage
Mm,
properly. I mean, I could, yeah, but this was sort of a commission project that needed to be done to a particular standard in a particular way. You were
mm,
using people's money, not your money. And then I was transitioning from being a cosmate to being the director. So I
director.
mean, every other person who was on the group on the team were my cosmates, and I had, like you say, assisted the wheel.
Some
And yeah, the first day of production, I think after the second scene, it started to rain, and we had just shot a sunny scene. So going into the next scene, it was raining, and then I saw my colleagues, my classmates, swing into action to try to make sure that we were not going to stop filming. And I think that just gave me a boost that I sort of needed at the time to say that okay, everybody was ready to do this with me, and then it was just time to also show them I was ready. I mean, I was working with more actors than I've worked with before. I was because I was part of people who conceived the story and wrote. It was like the
yes,
story was a baby in my hand, so I knew where I wanted it to go. But it was longer hours of filming than any other that I had done.
what that you've done.
And yeah,
And
and
how long did it take you to film this?
I think we principal photography took some 8 days. Aside other things that the B unit had to do, yeah, principal photography took 8 days. So also we knew that we had limited time. It was rainy
Mm,
season. We had exterior scenes. There was a whole lot to do. There was pressure, honestly.
okay,
But like I said, it took trying to just channel your inner composure
yeah,
to get this done. And again, it was beautiful that I knew the story in and out.
in and out. Okay,
So,
I
so
wanted to.
I knew, yeah,
Sorry, I'm just trying to rush you. I have like
yeah,
many
I get,
questions.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
know you're an actor as well. So I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, at some point did you channel the whole the being an actor into the directing of the film?
From writing actually.
And right, yeah, that's true. And writing, yeah.
From the
Okay, so
actual, I
you
channeled it
channel.
from writing. Yeah.
Okay,
So I
channel
co-wrote
from.
with two other people, and once we were done with the first, second, third draft, I took a break from it and I let it breathe. I let the other writers work on it, and then it came back to me just so that I was letting it breathe. And when it was back, I could see the pictures in my head, and
Okay,
I could see the point and the range I wanted the performances to go. I could see these characters already even before we got on set. And
okay,
I think getting on set or communicating with the actors even before we got on set, it was easier to communicate as actors
because you
first.
understood. Yeah.
Yeah, even talk director actor relationship. So we spoke about the story generally. We understood where we wanted to go. Each character brought their own intention for their character after understanding it, and it was easier to just say, "Oh, you know how this is what I'm looking
Mm,
at. This is what I'm trying to do." And most time, I find myself performing in the way that I could even before performance starts by the actor. I think it's something that happens to me a lot. I get to do a bit of performance also
before.
before yeah, so it was easier to
All
communicate
right.
with the actors who they actually brought their A game, all of them.
Okay, that's cool. I'm going to ask you a question about the actors, but I just want to find out from other filmmakers here quickly if anyone has any question for Moses, who directed Life of Beam. Um, and for those who haven't watched, please
Um,
look
I have a question for Moses.
Yes, thank you.
I have a question for Moses, but that question he will have to answer. The answer will be long. So let me ask. Let me quickly ask Kayode a question. Then I'll come back to Moses because I'm putting Moses on the spot now. So I know it's going to take its time. So is Kayode in the house? Can Kayode hear us?
Okay, that's true. Kayode.
Is Kayode with us?
Maybe
okay, Kayode is in the house. So Kayode, can you just unmute yourself?
I just did. Sorry.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Your volume is kind of low, so yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, good, Kayode. Okay. Quickly. So you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
Hello, Kayode. Okay,
yes.
Good. So quickly, I just want to find out something. I've seen a couple of your movies. In fact, I think I've seen all the movies you've made. And if there's one thing I've come to realize with the movies that you make is there is a very huge similarity with the pace of all your movies. How do you manage to I don't know. Is it from the screenplay? Is it during pre-production? At what point do you structure the story to get the pace? Because every movie I've seen of yours, the pace is like the same. It's brilliant. It reminds me of when I see Iranian movies from Iran. Movies from Iran, unlike American movies, where they have, it's like every act is dictated by different paces. It's almost like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 are three different movies when you look at the pace. But in Iranian movies, from the beginning to the end, the pace is just there, and you are the one just waiting and anticipating and hoping, and they are putting you at the edge of your seat waiting for something to happen, and there's a bit of that in your movie. And why I'm asking this question is that I would love to make one movie that we feel like an Iranian movie, but I do not understand their formula. What you're doing is very close to what those guys are doing, and I don't know what it is. So if you can just walk us through how you set up the pace for your movies and at what you take into particular consideration when you determine the pace of the movie, or does the magic happen in post-production? I don't know. Just let us know, please.
It's a bit of, thank you for that question. It's weird because my best film is kind of somewhat seems like an Iranian film, which is Timbuktu. So when you said that, you put a smile on my face. One thing I do is before shooting a scene or shooting a film, after I've read the script, is I know the music that is going to be for the scene. So most of the time when my headphones and I'm listening to the particular music that I am directing the scene for. And yes, the rest of the pacing happens in post-production because I make sure that anything that I work on, I must do the post-production for it. So it's mostly me just knowing the music for the scene and knowing how I'm going to cut it. And one thing I do, which I think makes me, I don't know if it makes me a good filmmaker, is I try to always hide in my stories, I try to always make the actors, make the actors feel so comfortable that I can compose my shots in a way that the audience is just sitting in the room and eavesdropping on conversations.
Wow,
Thank you. I think the first thing you said just answered everything I'm looking for, and you might not know, you just taught me something today, using the music to determine the pace in pre-production. Thank you very much. I'm going to try that, and I'll tell you whether I succeeded or not.
Kayode, you can make sure that he calls you. You can follow up with him. Yes.
And it's funny because okay, sir, thank you.
Okay. Do we have any question for Kayode?
Kayode was going to say something. I didn't mean to cut you. I was just so you said it's funny. So please, can you just complete that? Maybe I'll learn something new again.
No, it's funny because actually one of the people that you are one of the people that have played with pacing and silence in a film that I respect, which is the film you did with Frank Donga about the pastor, Idahosa.
Okay, that also true, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but if you notice, that film wasn't exactly the perfect Iranian prototype. So.
It seems we need a master class on how to make an Iranian film, Mr. Stanley.
You know, the funny thing is that in the whole of Iran, I think RGF is the first. RGF is actually very popular in Iran because they can't submit films to festivals because of the sanctions against them. And so, because right from the onset, we made it free for them to submit and we put their films in competition. So somehow, everybody in Iran is always waiting for RTF to submit films. So we get the best of their films.
Nice.
So like this year, we have 2 films. There's one Baja that hasn't been anywhere. They've not even premiered it. You understand? And they just believe so much in sending the film and the feedback. And I think yesterday, we had a special Iranian showcase from morning to like 2 o'clock. All the movies that showed were movies from Iran. And I was talking to, we were at a live festival, and I was talking to the guy from the US High Commission, Mr. Steven, and I was telling him about it, and I said, oh, you know what, all of a sudden I'm going to go to the portal and see those Iranian movies and all that. You know, because I said the way I'm talking about it is making him very, very inquisitive about that thing. But, you know, when you hear about the Assyrians, you understand? When you hear Assyrians of those days and Persians and all those stuff, those are the guys. And I think there's something about what they've been through as a people, right? The historic time to what's happening now and all the sanctions. I think there's something that's just about their experiences and the ongoing experiences they have that shows up in their movie. I think that's what it is. And I won't lie to anybody. I'm presently studying Iranian cinema because it is effortless. They don't make so much effort, but yet you are always captivated.
That's true, though.
I think I should end here, so I won't be the only one talking. Thanks, guys.
No problem. I just wanted to say something, Mr. Stanley. I don't know if this would help. I'm thinking that if there's a possibility of some sort of screening, because I notice sometimes during the festival, there's so many beautiful films that not all filmmakers are able to catch up. I don't know if I'm speaking the minds of others as well. But if there's another way of screening, even after the festival, that would really be good, because just like you said, a lot of people will probably be more interested in going to watch these films now after you've spoken. So I don't know if that can be something to be thought about.
Yeah, I think what we resolved to do as of yesterday was to leave every movie that showed from the opening ceremony to the last movie that we show, and the movies that will be shown on the close ceremony. That's the movies being made right now by filmmakers for the filmmaking challenge. Okay. All those movies will still be on the portal for like 2 days after the festival, so people can go there at their own pace and see them. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
I think we can jump back to Moses now, but someone else should ask him their question first.
Yes, and I think we can also take questions simultaneously for Kayode and Moses. Yeah. Because Kayode's film is called Love is Yellow, and this is a very interesting title. Love is Yellow. Please.
No, Love is Yellow was from last year. You still remember Love is Yellow?
Okay, that means I probably know. Okay, that means. What do you have this year? Sorry.
This lady called Life.
This lady, oh geez. I'm sorry, Kayode. I'm sure that I saw your film last year. That's probably why I'm talking about it.
The love is still yellow in your heart.
I'm telling you. Sorry about the mix-up. This lady called Life, right? Please.
Yeah.
Now, wow, you be one. Did you do poetry in school? Your names are quite poetic. Why?
Yeah, that's something else I really like about these movies. The titles are not. It's like when you see Nigerian paintings, when you go to an exhibition of artworks and you see the
Love is
fine.
yellow.
You say, what's the title of your movie? You say Oshudioke. What is Oshudioke? You see how that you'll be like a pepper seller, Iyalata. There are more than 2 million paintings of Iyalata in every exhibition ground in Nigeria. So I keep telling artists like, you guys find interesting titles for your paintings now, But if there's something, I think even Moses too. Moses has an interesting way of finding titles for his movies.
I
His
agree.
movies that showed at the festival last year, the shots, the
Closure.
titles
I've
were
never
also
gotten
Closure,
over that.
yes.
Yeah.
So, and I think after this I won't say anything, so I don't talk too much. But I'll just give a little hint. For me, when I want to title any of my movies, it takes time. But when I decide on the one I want, I go on IMDb and I type the title of that movie. And if that title exists, I won't use it because I want exclusivity when you search for a title that I've done. So when you see things like Coat of Harm, there's no movie called Coat of Harm. There's nothing close to. So again, I just wanted to throw it there so that anybody who's thinking about titles can just follow the same formula. Just check the entire internet and for anything you decide on and make sure nobody has used it, because sometimes your movie becomes popular when people are searching for it and that person's movie starts popping up. So this is my last comment for today till I ask my question. Thank you, guys.
Okay. So quickly, Kayode, please, could you tell us why the name This Lady Called Life?
Okay, the title of the film, This Lady Called Life, follows the main character's name. The main character's, first of all, I wanted to write the film. I wanted to tell a story about life, how sometimes the ordinary things that we have, that we have around us, that is in our reach, can just be the most wonderful things that can make us happy. And which is a story about life. Then we named the main character's name Ayetide. Ayetide is a Yoruba name, which means life has come. So the main character is a lady. It's a film about life, and her name is Life Has Come. So titled This Lady.
This Lady Called Life. Oh, makes so much sense. I like it though. That's really cool. Yeah. So we have other amazing filmmakers in the house. Do you guys have any questions? Charles, Bovo, Moses, Kayode is available for quick questions before we move on. And we will also, can see the time now. Maybe some of you have other things to do as well. So we wrap up on time.
Kayode is a big man. So I think the only question I'll ask Kayode is, how does he manage to be on all these sets? Because I'm trying to do it in the other side and it's taking my soul. So how do you manage to be able to jump from set to set? I mean, and still put out awesome works? I mean, that has to be taught. It has to be taught. So that's what I want to hear, because I don't know how he does it. Kayode, I'm asking you.
I know, I can hear you. What I would say is, I'm lucky that I started in film with a team, which is a group of friends which has now turned into a team and more. That we failed a lot together and trying to do a lot of projects, and we succeeded together and trying to do a lot of projects. That is easy. We already know what each other is thinking. So if I was to work with a new team for a fresh project in a less amount of time, maybe I will have like 7 pre-production meetings. But with my team, just probably 1 meeting and 1 Zoom meeting.
And everything is sorted.
Everybody is on board. We already know what we want to do. I mean, for like 6 years, we were together and we watched the same films, critique the same films. We know each other's strengths. So I know which DP to use for what project. And I know, because I know what he likes and I know what excites him. And the truth is, when you're working with a team who everybody's a star in their role. So the gaffer is a star in his role. He loves lighting. The sound guy loves recording sounds. Everybody loves what they're doing. It just makes the work easy.
I love this. This sounds like a romance, a film set romance. I mean, in a good way, right? When you have such chemistry, it makes life easier and you know, it's like everybody understands, okay, Kayode is thinking this way. And so it becomes easier to achieve what you want to achieve.
Well, one big part of in terms of my the people that I work with is our AD is a woman. Her name is Marwa Bakari. Most of the people here we know her, and she yells and she will just scream at people just to get work going if everybody is slacking or we're tired. And when she does that, we laugh. It's like we get why you are angry, and we are friends with you. We don't want you to get angry, so we're going to get back to work. Nobody gets angry that somebody's yelling or
that's good.
It's all for the same.
I can see Esther raising her hands. Very happy to hear your voice, Esther.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, we are here.
Okay. Kayode, I'm pretty excited, to hear that the team is critical to the amount of work you've been able to achieve recently. Because to be honest, when he asked that question, it's been something I've been thinking about myself. That how do you manage all these sets? I directed one and I was almost, but the part I want to ask is, do you always work with your team, always on every set?
So most of the people that I've worked with are people I've met on set. That's where I don't know if it's a good thing, but I make a lot of friends on set. So I don't work with the same set of people, but I work with somebody. I always like to keep my eye open. So for instance, I work with James Omokwe's production company, Fimo, for African Magic's Unbroken and Riona. And just from working on those sets, there are people that I have noticed that maybe the way we think about stories is a bit, we are both on the same wavelength in terms of thinking about stories. So for instance, I can just seeing how people are dedicated to their work too. I'm like, oh, I need to work with this person someday. I think it's like a people that all these motivational speakers will say, just maybe when people just knowing your worth and people seeing your worth, everybody is always looking for somebody interesting and somebody that can do the job. So yes, answering your question, I swap and work with different people, but I'm at least while I'm working with them, because to be honest, yes, it's teamwork that makes the dream work. But while I'm working with them, it's always knowing there are reasons why I work with certain people, just to make that simple. And just knowing that this person likes this person. Oh, if you give this person a task to come up with these ideas, like she knows how to get it done easily. So all those things are things I'm always looking for in terms of working with a team.
Sorry, I have to quickly, you have somebody raising their hands as well, Patrick. Patrick, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, please go ahead. You have a question for Kayode?
Yes, please. So first of all, I just want to say that Kayode is one of the filmmakers in the industry that I've come to know of, and I respect a great deal rather. Yeah. So yes, Bros Kayode, well done. Yeah,
thank you.
More strength and power to what you do. So yeah, my question is, so first off, I would like to know if you were made to give this, because first of all, yeah, this lady called Life was an interesting watch. I did watch it before the festival to stay, and yeah, it was quite emotional and quite a deep story and very relatable. So yeah, if you were told to give that project a different title, what would you opt for?
Okay.
A different title, what would you opt for? And secondly, do you think amongst all the projects you've done, let's say this year, do you think there is any you probably would have done better? I know, is this something you do, like you sit back and then watch your project and feel like, oh, this is something I would have done better, or this is somewhere I should have, this is somewhere I feel I want to improve on? It's just me trying to learn, basically.
Okay.
Oh, but it's a good question, even if you're not learning.
Okay, thank you, sir. So this lady called Life, I was to rename it, I would name it Life Has Come, because Life Has Come is the main character's name I ate today. So if I was another name, plan B name was Life Has Come. Answering your question about films, I think all the films, because look at it now. I'm a Nigerian filmmaker. I make films under 13 days or 14 days max, and with little to no budget, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And so there's every film I have made will be better if I had more time or more fun.
That's true.
So, yes, definitely. I don't think I don't know, but I think maybe all filmmakers will feel, there are a lot of things I would have done differently on all my projects, but that does not mean I do not like them. Yes, as a filmmaker, you have love for some and love for, you have no love for the others, but anytime I'm on set, I do make sure that I do my best with all the resources that I have to tell a very good story.
Yeah. Okay, I thank you so much, Kayode. I think that I'm feeling so sad that this Q&A is so amazing, and I'm seeing also that there's probably people have to move on very soon. So hopefully we get to do more of this kind of conversation. Stanley, you need to do something about this, and I can see your hands are up. But I hope I wanted to remind you that we have Moses in the house still for Life of Beam.
That's why I was raising my hand now.
All right.
I'm here for Moses now.
Moses, they are coming for you.
So Moses, how did you cross the Red Sea first of all to let my people go? Okay.
This time around, there was no road. We had to find something else to do.
Okay, but quick one there, Moses. The last film we saw at RCF that you made was Closure, right?
Yes.
Okay, so from Closure, had you started working on Life of Beam when we saw Closure last year?
Well, Life of Beam was shot, I think, a few months after Closure.
So as of the time we had RCF last year, you had already done Life of Beam.
I've done Life of Beam. I've done Life of Beam. Yeah.
Okay, quick one. Okay, great. Someone asked some of the questions I wanted to push to you. The guys you worked on Closure with, did you introduce some of them in Life of Beam?
Yes, actually. The guys I worked on Closure with played major role in Life of Beam, and also in my other film that will be premiering at RTF tomorrow, Efemena.
They were not necessarily in the MTF program.
For Life of Beam were solely MTF students because it was an MTF project. So
the guys who you worked on Closure with all some of them got into the MTF program as well.
Yes, most of them.
And luckily, they were on your team too.
Yeah. Okay, so I made Closure, I think, the second month after I got into MTF.
Okay.
While I was trying to.
Okay.
So they were very available, and once I shared the idea I had to play with on one of our free time, they were like, okay, let's jump on it. So it made it easier to just have them in one space, and each time you know how ideas be now. When the thing just hits you again, you run and go and share. Hey, so I was thinking I can do this, and they're like, okay, no worry, we'll go run now. Yeah, so we're in the same space, and it was easier to just like do this together.
Awesome, because I saw Life of Beam the first day it premiered. When they did the premiere, I was invited, so I saw it, and I thought it was a beautiful movie. Of course, you had Kelechi Udegbe, my favorite actor in the whole world, and he delivered as usual and all that. I just wanted to point to the fact that the guys who you've worked with at your early stages, with whom you built a chemistry, it's actually very crucial to retain those relationships, because you really don't find a lot of people with whom you can have that chemistry in this industry. It's not very common. And that's why I was happy when someone asked Kayode that question, because that's exactly where I was going to. Because sometimes when you move on and you be like, okay, I'm doing bigger things now, you might want to start thinking, okay, let me work with other people who maybe have been doing bigger things and all of that. Personally, on a film set, I'd rather have someone who has been with me 20 years, who still has one or two flaws, but whom I can trust, to pace up when I need to pace up, to work as if we're all going to die when we need to work as if we're all going to die, to be understanding and not take it personal when I get temperamental, because I do get temperamental on set, especially when people start getting like a Jessica about one or two things. There's a way people can be on set and they become too used to what they are doing and they begin to lose focus. So sometimes you just need to yari for them, they're able to come back. But of course, when we're not working, I am the happiest person. You can never even offend me. But I'm just saying, it's very crucial. It's very
Can
crucial.
I say something quickly, Mr. Stanley? I like what you just talked about, being on set and being professional. Like, this is our job. It's separate from friendship. I'm happy you're bringing this up. I just wanted to quickly cut in because I noticed that a lot of times for us, we are not able to separate those two things. A lot of filmmakers in Nigeria, I can be your friend, but then when we are on set, then if you're a director and I'm a producer or vice versa, then let's stick to the job. It doesn't make sense when you try to bring in the personal on set. I feel like it's a very serious issue that needs to be corrected, because then people go, that like after set, then people go like, oh, I beg, our relationship no fit continue again. But that's not true. We're supposed to be able to separate those things. And in a way, it's a question as well, Moses, right? Still connecting to what Mr. Stanley is saying. Are you able, do you have such situations as well? Because I've had a lot of them, and, of course, I don't send afterwards.
Okay, but before he answers that question, here's where I'm just going. Like, even my wife doesn't visit me on the set. She knows she knows I won't be her husband when she visits me on the film set. And honestly, it's facts. If my wife comes on the film set, she's not expecting to meet her husband, because at that point, I am, and I'll tell you why I do that. I just say I should say this in this forum, because this is why I do that. And I say, when they call our kids out in class to talk about their parents and what they do, you most likely see the kids whose parents are bankers and lawyers and engineers talking with so much pride. My father is a doctor, my father is this, my father is a that. When your child comes out to say my father is a filmmaker, is he saying it with pride as if his father is a real professional? Or because he has been on a film set and see the way we work, has he seen a lot of mediocrity that makes him feel like my father is just one of those jokers? You understand? So at the end of the day, the professionalism has to, the moment we are on set and we're working, everything has to be absolutely professional, and there's no room for any kind of jaga. But the fastest way to get that, and the most rest assured way, is to just pitch your tent with people who have like minds, with whom you have done things, with whom you have even fought and quarreled, and you guys now understand each other. If you found that team, Moses, because I know, I'm not guessing, I know you are going far in the industry. Mark my words, I know. When I see people whose works I want to get better, I know. So I'm just saying, as you are going on that journey, don't begin to look for a new clique when from the beginning, you already got everything you needed. You understand what I'm trying to say? So let me not sound like I'm a teacher. I think I'm done. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I see the thing. I mean, the team that I made closure with, we made closure like 3 years ago now. I've gone on to work on 4 other projects with a TV series, a feature film, 2 other short films, and a lot more. So I see what you're saying. It's something we need to all understand working with a team. Of course, there's always the room to work with other team, but your go-to people will always be your go-to people because they have an understanding of what your path is like. Like Kayode said, when you dream alike and you speak same language, it's easier to actually churn out great things. So thank you, Awan, for the advice.
Don't shut me out. Oh, me, I'm ready to work with you people. Don't be following Stanley all the way through. But by the way, Patrick has Patrick has a question. Hi, Patrick. Patrick, are you there? Can you hear us? Okay.
I think Charles typed something. If you could just run through what he said. think we will still have like
I can read. Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
let's just say we're
systems.
rounding up by 10:35. So I don't, Charles, if you want to just expand on what you've typed, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So what I do is this. Because I know what makes any system work is, first of all, there has to be a system. Any set, any office, any work environment, there has to be structure. So the first blueprint is system. Then the people inside, the personnel, and then information. Who knows what and when does this information pass, and who passes this information? So even if I find myself where I'm not with people who I've worked with before, I first of all look out, is there a system? These people, do they have a system that they work with? Okay, if they have a system that they work with, okay, who communicates what? Once I have all those stuff, it's easy for me to plug myself into the system. I'm like, before we shoot 2-3 days, I can be able to become part of the team. So it's actually hard, but I mean, if you are a very, very structured and organized person, you can be able to put it off. But it's what I advise people who, if you find yourself in a situation where you cannot hire your own crew, because there are points when you might be hired and you have to work with the team that you have. You won't say, I have to bring in people, even though that's good. But if the team you are given, they're actually good, they're actually knowledgeable, and they know what they're doing, and they have a system, I will always look for the personnel. Okay, this person does that person does that, and then the information. So it just communicates what I want and the fastest people to get that done. So that's the approach I use to be able to circumvent anytime I'm on a set that is not my own set. So I think maybe if that's something that could also be adapted, something that could also be used if you don't have the power, the creative control to be able to make your own decisions and say, these are the people I have to work with. Although, I mean, it's always fine to work with your own team. I prefer to work with my own team, actually, because I'm a huge fan of using people I've worked with before, even though I work with a lot of people. So like Kayode was saying, I have many DPs I know who can do a certain stuff. So I know the right set of people to be able to bring on a particular kind of project. But if my hands are tied, I can also be able to work with the system I have. Because I mean, if there's a system,
I think
even
that
if
part
you
of
bring
your hands
anybody,
are tied. I think that part makes a lot of sense, because sometimes it's a commission job, and well, for me, I was speaking from the point of view of making your own personal projects where you're in total control. You get what I'm trying to say? Like personally, I'm typically not paid for I don't know, I'm not a talent for hire, as it were. I just prefer doing my own stuff and all that, because my thinking is more like I have more than 60 stories in my archive to tell. The time I'll spend telling someone else's story that might not even excite me the way mine would is like a waste of my time. So I'd rather spend my own time doing my own stuff and all that. But that's just me, you understand? So again, that forms my idea of, okay, this teamwork with my team and my guys and all that. Of course, if someone calls me up to say do this, of which I've done a couple of times, like even Behind the Wheels, the one with Annie Yoho, that wasn't even my direct project. I was called upon, but I saw the story, I saw the potential to do something crazy, especially with the whole fire stuff. And that was like my deal. Like it was whether the EP was going to accept for me to do that. And the fire was just one thing. We had this accident where we crashed the whole trailer, and two trailers collided with the bus and they turned on their side. And we shot it in Ogara. And then the police commissioner was passing and he sent his men to go and try and help rescue people. It was very exciting. So, but once I can find something exciting to make out of a screenplay when I treat it, then if the EP says yes, then yes, okay, I'll do it, because that means that's giving me full creative control. And so I can rework the story to become the kind of story I want to tell, which must naturally have all those dark twisted and inexplicable elements. That's just my stuff. And it's not as if I'm possessed. I keep telling people, because some people be like, say, be devil picking. I'm not be devil picking, I beg, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm typically my traction is not for, okay, you know what, I'm available for hire and all of that. I even run away from it, no matter what people bring. But like you said, it's very important still, like you can adapt. But the only way you can adapt is if already you've spelled out who you are and your personality, like. And I think that's something a lot of filmmakers need to do. I did that like more than 15 years ago, where I listed, this is me, this is how I operate, this is what I do. So any project I'm doing till tomorrow, and I've been updating it for the past 15 years. So when new things come, and I realize this should be in my introduction to my cast and crew when I want to work, I add them there. So when we're having our first pre-production meeting, I pass that short note around. This is me. This is my understanding. This is my personality. I am not ashamed to tell people I get very temperamental on set when people begin to misbehave. So please don't come to my set to misbehave. I don't know A-lister. I don't know big name. I know people coming on set to work. So if you come with A-lister mentality, all the respect I give you from that moment, I drop it. I treat you like any other person. And there are some people who have experienced that and they go about saying bad things about me. I don't care because I warned you from the beginning. And then everybody signs a contract and I put it there. If you misbehave and you make me delay, I will remove it from your money. It's simple. So it's very straightforward. So I'm just saying, again, let everybody just find a way to articulate themselves so that no matter where you are, like the system that Charles is talking about, for me, that's my own system. This is me, this is how I operate. If you want to work with me, let's work. If you think this is too much for you to stomach, or you don't want to conform to this, then fine, there are millions of talents out there waiting to work. You understand? Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate the session.
Thank you, Stanley.
Thank you very much. Okay, let me to just add to that. I like the fact that you mentioned how you actually. The truth of the matter is that I'm quite methodical when I work as well. It's just part of waiting they help me now say, you know, I'm both above and below. I've worked as above the line and below the line. So crew and director and AD. So I understand both sides, working with the team and then directing the team. So having both stuff, it makes it easier for me. I can handle the duality. So, but normally the way I work is I have my own. I have to work with my crew. I have to, the way I articulate my vision and say this is what I want to do and all that. But I also understand that set has it, a lot of Murphy's Law, so many stuff can happen, and you have to drop some of those stuff aside and dig your hand, into the dirt and be able to make sure that the boat gets to where it has to get to. So once that becomes the case, I would become anybody at that point. If it means becoming the PM, I'll become the PM at that point without stepping on anybody's toes or entering anybody's position. But I would just to make sure that this has to work. So I feel what you're saying. I actually,
brother, if you need to step on toes, so the shoe must just go on, because I won't lie to you. You were there at the directing session today, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was trying not to go into too much details because I didn't want to expose what I was talking about, but I didn't say how that story ended. And I'll tell you how the story started, which I didn't say either. The story started with me when the EP said this person, and it's the same movie I just mentioned, said, oh, I want this person in the movie so that we can sell it in the East because it's popular there. And I said, I do not work with those Asaba people because they have a terrible reputation and we will clash on set. And he said, no, I beg. See, when I'm working with someone, it's not my project. There's a very stringent MOU we sign. It is me. It is my terms. If you think someone else can do it better for you, go and meet the person. I'm not desperately looking for your work. But if you say you want me to direct your work, then these are my terms. Sign it first before we even have our first meeting. Look at it, give your lawyer a sign. Then we'll have a pre-production meeting. And then he said, oh, I don't read your terms, but I beg. You see how the story they come. It wasn't I insist, which is what I was pissed off when some directors were like, oh, but then the producer can come and say, I was like, what kind of rubbish is that one now? Is Is it low self-esteem or what that you're on a film set and an actor or producer will be telling you what to do as a director? You know, I don't know, Sha. Let's leave that on by the side. But bottom line is that he came and said, oh, for commerciality, for the commercial value of this movie, because I know people in Asaba will like it because of this guy. I said, okay, no problem, put him there. But I don't want him on my set for more than 1 day. And he said, no, he's on set for 3 days. I said, give me the screenplay. And he gave me the screenplay. And I said, I can collapse all his scenes into 1 day and I'll shoot him first so he can leave my set the same day. And that's what happened. And I tried to control this guy and I was controlling him till the final scene when I had succeeded. Final scene we're going to shoot. I told my sound person to go and mic her up. And then when the lady gets there to mic him, he starts shouting, "Hey, bastard, you're an idiot, don't touch me." And I go to him like, "Boss, nobody talks to my crew members like this, so not even me." And I said, the person you are shouting at has a master's in sound design. It's not one of those people who just jumped into production. And he said, no, she's stupid. I said, please, I'm telling you, do not shout on my crew. And I was still being calm. And then he turned to me and all his sentiments just came out. And you, who are you, Seth? I have not seen you in DGM meeting. And I told him, Oga, you see, this line you're about to cross, if you know what's going to happen next, you won't cross it. And it started, the moment he opened his mouth, the next second, it be like seeing a thunderbolt. By the time we finished with him, he was sitting on the bed, and I told my crew, pack up all the lights, move all the equipment. He was sitting on that bed, he was shaking, and I told everybody, we turned off the light and left him in the room. He was so ashamed to leave the room. He stayed there for another 3 hours, and from there, ordered a taxi to come and take him back to Asaba. I not send you. Bottom line is that it's my set. There are rules and regulations on a film set, just like when you're performing surgery. Don't come and disrupt the set because of who you be. You understand? So bottom line is that at the end of the day, we just all have to, as directors, even if you're a producer, know your terms. Don't just accept anything. You understand? And I like the level of conversation that's going on here. And it shows that everybody here, there are people who know what they want to do and people who insist on things being done right. You know, but what I'm saying is that if you need to step on toes, bros, if stepping on that toe will make your production succeed and you can vindicate yourself for stepping on that toe, Oga, break the toe, not just step on it.
Oh, I hear you. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. It was really amazing.
No, Regina, I've actually missed this.
I know you miss us now, so you they do. Last day we used to sit down at 3 a.m. I'm running now.
You know, there was COVID then, so people were not going out.
I know, yeah, actually. I think, to be candid, I think that last year was a therapy for a lot of people. You know?
Yeah. Even the participation was crazy. We can't ever hit those numbers again because we're not in a lockdown. You know, the numbers are still good, but the numbers last year, it was just crazy. Nobody had any other thing to do, so everybody was at the festival.
That's true.
Oh, thanks, guys.
But it's always amazing. For me, especially because I'm a bit of a lonely person out here. It's just me in Norway. So having to do this, it's a lovely opportunity to meet all the filmmakers. I mean, so many new people that I don't know. That's why, excuse me, please, I've been asking some weird questions to you guys, right? Like, please introduce yourself. Where are you coming from? So thank you.
Well, Regina, I'm coming to make a movie in Norway. Just ready for us. I'll carry Kayode for nobody. Kayode and all the other guys with the just make sure you get the grants and wait for us so we can spend the money at the gift.
Monaco, I beg.
Okay, hurry up, go collect the grants because not our money we go spend. those
you know what? They're very interesting. Hi, don't make me start conversation. Anyway, I wanted to talk about the Lost Cafe. You know, we filmed the Lost Cafe in Norway. So a lot of people thought that we had so much.
It's on Netflix now.
Yes, it's coming on Netflix. Thank you. So a lot of people thought we had so much money, especially because we shot it in Norway. So it's been at first, we weren't really telling people the real situation, but after some time I just felt, but this is also educative. You know, the impression that, once you're filming outside of Nigeria, we're all struggling. We're all upcoming filmmakers, or rather not really upcoming. We are semi-established filmmakers, but we don't have enough funds, just like Kayode said, right? But in Norway, one good thing, this I can definitely tell you.
Sorry, don't mind Kayode. Don't mind Kayode. Kayode is a big boy. Don't mind him. Just all he's doing is humility. It's not even humility, humility.
Okay, so I shouldn't be calling him back. Who is here? Who is my sister in there? Okay, Esther is here now. Let me call Esther.
Please,
Oh my God.
Hey, should we talk? Should we tell them? Should we tell them the truth?
Who is that?
Kayode, Kayode, I will blow fan from your back. Oh.
Look at Kayode doesn't talk too much.
Let me hear this Norwegian.
This guy.
Give us the wages. Give us the wages.
Abby, Kayode, that's a good one. No, but I just wanted to say clearly, equipment for sure. We figure equipment. That one no be. I know they hide mouth. Locations, free to shoot. To be candid. Now, when it comes to the grant, it depends on the kind of grant. If you're expecting millions, then of course it's not. The millions are more for co-productions, or if you are mainly co-productions, right? Or if you apply for the grants with the films from the South Film Festival. You guys, you know CJ Obasi?
Yeah, CJ.
Okay, so CJ came for the pitch forum for that film festival. And that is, I'm not going to lie when this one, let me even speak in pidgin. It is now the one of the hardest festival to get, money for grants through these people. A lot of times you already need to have a French producer on board, a German producer, possibly, which other country is that? Italy. Where is Venice? Yeah, Italy. Then when you come to Norway, they look at that whole resume that comes with you. And then when you come to Norway to apply for the grant or you pitch the film, it becomes easier for them to give you the money. If you come just like me and you, nobody gonna answer you because they're more in that particular grant, they're more concerned about festival rounds. And the festival, I'm talking about the big 5 festivals, right? Which is Cannes, Toronto, Venice and the likes. But if you're coming to produce, the normal kind of films, like I said, you can get free equipment because we can apply for equipment, and there are certain bodies that give free equipment, really good ones. And then of course you can get good locations. So that was it. What happened with the Lost Cafe? We actually were able to shoot Lost Cafe because we got equipment support for free. The actors, obviously, we told them clearly we didn't have money to pay them, so they were more than happy to act for free for us. And then locations were free. But like I said, you're all welcome. You can come to Norway and shoot. It's one of the most expensive countries as well. So when you're coming to shoot, be careful the kind of stories you're thinking of writing. Yeah, basically that. But for me, I feel like if you have equipment, production don't settle. That's how I see it. When it comes to feeding and logistics, I feel like those are things that's where the producer mind comes in. How do you sort it out? I talk like.
It's actually quite interesting that you mentioned the Lost Cafe because it's a movie I really loved. I told Kenneth when I saw it first at LCA, when Ron Con screened at LCA, one of the things I like about stories is tone, because as a director, I pay attention to tone. So Kenneth he knows how to replicate tone. And, casting Tunde Aladashew, that was one of the most brilliant things that he did. And I heard the gist that it was the gist. I heard gist that you guys, at some point, he was directing via WhatsApp.
It's not a gist, it's what happened because he was denied visa. And because of that, we had to postpone the shoot 2 weeks from when we were originally supposed to shoot, forward, right? Hoping that he would get the visa. He still, while we were waiting for him to get the visa, we had to start shooting. So we were actually taking screenshots of how the set looked and everything and sent it to him. And then we will make WhatsApp calls. And imagine that time there were no video WhatsApp calls, right? So we literally were talking to him. Then we used Facebook. And And then we didn't have enough crew. To be candid, the Norway part, we just had about 34 people who shot the entire 12 days of shoot.
I think we have Adeni Joseph in the house. I think he's the one who
Joseph.
did the movie Go Slow. Joseph, are you the one that made Go Slow?
Yes, I do.
Oh, cool.
He actually produced Life of Bimo.
Can you imagine? So he's in the
While I
two movies.
directed, and then he shot Closure.
Hello, Joseph, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm in traffic, so I'm trying to join while I'm in traffic.
Okay. Do you think you can talk?
Yes, I can, definitely.
Okay. So you produced Life of Bim?
Yeah, at MTF. I'm an alumni of the factory, so we produced that in MTF. Yes, I did, and then Iron Fair, which premiered. Iron Fair showed on Sunday, actually. On the
wait first now. Now you produce Iron Fair too.
Yeah.
They are the producer of the year, and now they are the producer of Go Slow 2 again.
Well,
yeah, thank you very much. You see the big boys you are talking about, all the kind
I'm telling you.
This is between some 2 years, I think. Life of Bim was in 2018, I think. And your fair 2020. No, rather 2021. And the Go Slow was 2020. So this is the space of some 2 years. I mean, I try to do every year. I mean, try to do something.
That's good. So are you working on anything new now?
Yes, actually, I'm working on a web series.
Okay, web series.
Finally,
I have a question about Go Slow, right? Huh?
Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah. So Go Slow, I've watched it and I love it. But I can't 100% say I understand. I'm not questioning the integrity of the movie or anything. It's beautiful. I'm trying to understand the philosophy behind it.
Trying to understand
the philosophy behind Go Slow, beyond the normal Go Slow. Was it just straight Go Slow and all that, or were you using that Go Slow as a subtext to really talk about what the philosophy of the movie was? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it was pretty much talking about how frustrated for someone who had promised to be there for her, and then he could not do that, and like for so many people, so Lagos is a case study really in this story. For so many people who also have had some experience with Go Slow, they can share their own version of how traffic or Go Slow itself has prevented them from doing something planned. That's pretty much it. And then at the end of the day, he found a solution to finding his way around, which was a suggestion of water transportation in Lagos.
Hello? Are you still there? Hello, Joseph? Can you guys still hear him? Or am I the only one who can hear?
Hello, are you there?
You're still there, right?
He went off for a bit, so I think he's back.
Joseph. Okay, I think maybe he's passing through a place where there's no network. He's driving now. It's on the road. Okay, guys. I think we'll have to include Joseph in the next Q&A sessions tomorrow afternoon. So we can talk more about this movie Go Slow, because for me, I think he was trying to use the traffic situation to also interpret what was going on in the guy's life, the slow pace of him hitting his achievements and his goals. That's what I think. So I just wanted to hear from him directly whether he was using the Go Slow in Lagos to kind of mirror the guy's personal life as a parallel. So that we don't keep everybody awake for too long, so you guys can go back and see the movies and join us again tomorrow. I think we'll have to end this now. Thank you everyone who was part of this. We've overshot our time, but it's always exciting having these sessions, and you stop looking at time if not that you know that you need to sleep. So thank you everybody, and thanks Gina, Esther, Charles, Moses, Bovo, Tulokbe, and Patrick Utomi. And thanks guys, and the movies are still showing at the portal. Like I said, each day we'll have a repeat showcase of a previous day, not necessarily the very previous day, but maybe 2 days before. But from Monday, after the festival is over, so Monday, Tuesday, and probably till noon on Wednesday, all the movies will be all there. So you can go back and see any movie you might have missed. Thank you very much, guys, and God bless. Regina, any final words?
Yeah, very much appreciated moments. Let's cherish them and of course learn from it. Just quickly, we can have this tomorrow evening at the same time, Mr. Stanley.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right then. Thank you, everybody. Hope to hear from you tomorrow about the other films as well.
Okay, so the link is the same. So same link. We're not changing. It's a recurring meeting.
Okay. All right then.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Tolu.
Thanks, Tolu.
All right, good night.
Good
Thanks,
night.
everyone. Good night. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Go and finish your film. Go and finish your film. You're
Thank you, sir.
submitting by 8 a.m. tomorrow in case you don't know.